Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual, starting with Frank Kessie, as Juventus offer the Barca star a 7 million euro per year deal and a prominent role in the team. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about manager Xavi, who is pushing on with his plans to start the season with a new formation for Barca. We're also going to be looking at that. So guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel, or if you haven't, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Over the past 12 hours or so, contradicting reports have come out regarding the future of FC Barcelona midfielder Frank Kessie. The 26-year-old seems certain to be on his way out this summer, with the club needing to make at least one big sale due to their financial fair play situation. Juventus have been one of Kessie's strongest suitors in the current transfer window. In fact, reports earlier in the day even suggested that the Italian giants had reached an agreement with Barca over a loan to buy arrangement worth around 15 million euros. Now, a fresh report from Sport has detailed Juventus's plans to convince Kessie to join them. As per the update, the Bianconeri wish to offer the Ivory Coast international a contract worth 7 million euros per year net and make him the flagship of the new sporting project if he were to join them this summer. The Serie A bigwigs have a self-imposed salary cap of 7 million euros per year in place and would be willing to meet that figure for the Barcelona midfielder. It would make Frank Kessie one of the highest paid players at Juventus, with only Paul Pogba, who earns 8 million euros per season, on a bigger pay packet. Beyond that, the old lady would also be willing to hand him a prominent role in the team as manager. Massimiliano Allegri is keen on his signing. It remains to be seen whether Juventus' attempts to convince Kessie to join them work out or not. At the same time, though, some media outlets in Spain suggested that the Blaugrana prefer to ship him off to the Premier League as they want to raise money now from his sale rather than loaning him out. What appears certain is that Barcelona wish to move Kessie on from the club just a year after signing him. His destination, however, appears unclear at this moment. Of course, Frank Kessie's future remains more uncertain as the day passes by, as every single day we keep talking about the player's potential exits from Football Club Barcelona. I think I've always said this, the fact that he came just last year and he wants to be forced out of the club is really harsh and unfair. But we all know the situation Barca are going through. But what still baffles me is the fact that there are players in that squad that were really, really poor than Frank Kessie last season. I don't know, but we talk about Spanish players like Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia. Barca are slack to do anything with those players, but they are going for this Ivory Coast man who even did his best to impress onlookers last season. Like, what sense does that make? Are they showing that they favor the Spanish people, even though they were misfiring than Frank Kessie? Because I still believe if Frank Kessie was a Spanish man, I don't think the pressure they are putting on him to leave would be like this. We have players that were misfiring. Ansu Fati, Ferran, Eric Garcia. Is it because they are Spanish that Xavi is not putting pressure for them to leave, like how they are putting the pressure on Frank Kessie? I can see it because honestly it baffles me. There are players out there like Ferran Torres who could be sold for even 40 or 30, even expensive than Frank Kessie. But Barca would choose to kick out this guy because he has nothing to do with Spain or whatever. I don't know. It still baffles me because I think he had a good season. Whenever given the opportunities last season, I definitely think Frank Kessie made the use of it. So Barca will keep saying yes, it's not for sporting reasons, it's for economic reasons. That's why Frank Kessie is leaving. Definitely. Even if players like Ferran Torres should be sold, It will also be for economic reasons. But yes, more to that, sporting reasons, because he has not been up to the job. He has not been up to the task. Last season, he was misfiring quite a good number of times. But it seems as though the player just come out and say, look, I'm not leaving. And Barca will be like, okay, let's see. But they're not putting the pressure. We understand that, yes, these players have a contract. They have every right to come out and say they will not leave. You won't do anything to them. It is a signed contract, and there is nothing you can do about that. So let's see how Franchise's own future will look like as a move out of Barca looks certain as it stands. Then on to the next story of discussion. Keeping in mind Barcelona's activity in the transfer market this summer, it is natural to expect some tactical changes to be introduced by Xavi Hernandez ahead of the next season. To that end, Santi Ovalle believes one of the changes could see Barca start to use the 3-4-3 formation next season. Xavi, who has primarily preferred the 4-3-3 since joining Barca as the manager, is open to a change now due to Barca's several acquisitions this summer, including Ilkay Gundogan and Inigo Martinez. The addition of Martinez in particular means Barca have four quality centre backs but no recognized right back. Shifting on three-man back line therefore could make a wall of sense, with Jules Koundé possibly operating on the right-hand side of the central defense. Alejandro Balde should operate at left wing back, which should provide balance out wide, especially if Xavi opts for an attacker such as Rafinha on the opposite flank. In midfield, the addition of Gundogan means Barca needed the presence of an extra spot in the middle of the park. There have been talks of Xavi filling the entire second line of press with four central midfielders as well. In the front line, Dembele remains undisputed choice alongside Lewandowski. Both players are rated highly by Xavi and should remain key attackers for the team next season. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.